Good day, class. So today our topic is all about sexual aspect of self. According to Sigmund Freud, ang sex ay hindi lamang for procreation or pagpaparami. Ito din ay source of pleasure natin bilang tao. Okay? Bilang mahalagang part ng ating sexual health. So, ang ating behavior, pagdating sa bagay na ito ay motivated by the desire to feel pleasure. So, motivation na ito ay organized and kontrolado by two instincts like sexuality and aggression. So, Freud theorized na itong mga instincts na ito are driven by a form of internal psychic energy na tinatawag nating libido. Okay? Ang libidong ito ay isang sexual drive na siyang nagmo-motivate sa atin to desire to feel pleasure. To begin with, we have the lesson 7.1. We have the introduction. Discuss natin ang self-concept sa mga previous na module natin. Again, ito ay tumutukoy to the self-knowledge and belief that we have. Okay? At yung evaluation natin that we make about ourselves. Next is the self-schemas. Means it is the elements of our self-concept or those specific beliefs na siyang tumutulong sa atin to organize and guide our processing of self-relevant information according to Myers and Twinge 2017. So, yung mga schemas na ito provide direction to our action, okay, and coherence to our identity. At the end of this lesson class, you will be able to be familiar with the human reproductive system and the human sexual responses and behaviors that comprise the sexual aspect of the self. Number two, discuss the broader implications of your sexual self in terms of social relationships, intimacy, and attachments, sexual behaviors, and sexual health. Then demonstrate reflective thought about different stages of love. Explain the various sexually transmitted diseases and infections and ways to prevent them through methods of contraception. Let us define first what is sexual self. Comprises a complex set of schemas that allow us to understand and express ourselves as sexual beings. We hold self-schemas that pertain to our sex, gender, sexual orientation, and sexual expression or responses. So, ito yung mga self-schemas na tinatawag or schemas na tinatawag natin. Again, tumutukoy ito sa ating sex, gender, sexual orientation, and sexual expression or responses. So, ang sex naman ay tumutukoy sa ating biological and physiological or our physical characteristics that define men and women and that constitutes the sex categories like male and female according to WHO or World Health Organization 2014. Again, pag sinabing sex, it is sometimes referred to as biological or assigned sex. Okay? Again, tumutukoy sa pagiging lalaki or pagiging babae. Okay? It is based on what a person is endowed by nature or at birth. Next, we also have gender identity, and sexual orientation. So, pag sinabing gender, Ito ay tumutukoy sa ating attitude, okay, yung feelings and behaviors that a given culture associates with a person's biological sex, according to American Psychological Association, 2012. Sa gender identity naman, ito ay isang matatawag na internal awareness of where the individual belongs, okay, in the feminine and masculine categories. Sa feminine, it pertains to the women, and masculine sa mga kalalakihan. Okay? Sexual orientation naman refers to the direction of one's sexual and romantic interests, according to Ratus 2014. So, sa sexual orientation, again, na-define na natin ito sa mga previous categories used to describe sexual orientation, kagaya ng heterosexual. Sa cultural bucket list ninyo, yung mga iba hindi nila sinagutan. Yung iba naglagay ng NA. Supposed to be yun ay heterosexual. Tumutukoy sa pagiging babae at lalaki. Sa homo naman, same sex, okay, or bisexual. Okay? So that is sexual orientation. So the beginning of our biological sex. So saan nga ba nagumpisa ang ating biological sex? So ang ating biological sex ay nagumpisa with the sex chromosomes na namana natin sa ating mga magulang during the time of fertilization, yung fusion or pagsasama ng sex cells ng ating mga magulang. So doon nagumpisa, no? Yung tinatawag na biological sex. So, tignan natin dito, class, yung mother's egg cell, okay? Typically, yan ay may daladalang X chromosome. Yan po ay sa nanay. While sa tatay, yung sperm cells ay nahati sa dalawa. Okay, yung isang half ay X chromosome, while yung isang half ay Y chromosome. Okay? So, kung ang sperm with an X chromosome fertilizes, okay, yung egg cell ni mother, okay, then resulting XX pair of sex chromosomes, typically yan ay nagpuproduce ng babae. Okay? Babae yung magiging anak kung dalawang X. Okay? Pair of sex chromosomes. Or XX pertains to a girl. Okay? Babaeng anak. While sa father, okay, if the one with a Y chromosome successfully unites with the egg cell ni mother, okay, at nagkaroon sila ng XY pair, normally yan ay nagpuproduce ng anak na lalaki. So, XX for girl and then XY for a boy. So, ayan na. So, after fertilization, okay, nabuo na yung whether it is girl or boy, nandyan na yung kakaroon na tayo ng sexual development. So, nandyan na yung gonads at 6 weeks, after fertilization. Regardless kung ano mang gender, lalaki man o babae, lahat ng embryo ay mayroong tinatawag na identical primordial gonads. Okay? Ang gonads, class, sa madaling sabi, no, ito yung male and female primary reproductive organs. Okay? Sa lalaki, sa male gonads, ito yung tinatawag nating testes. Okay? Or reproductive organs. Sa babae naman, for female gonads, ito ay tinatawag na ovaries. Okay? So, ang gonads also produce sex hormones needed para sa paglaki and development of primary and secondary reproductive organs, both for male and female. Okay? Tignan natin dito, class, yung male and female internal reproductive organ. Ayan. Ito yung sa male reproductive system. Okay? Nandyan yung kanyang prostate glands, seminal vesicle, we have the penis, okay, urethra, scrotum, or yung balls na tinatawag, or testes sa loob ng balls. We also have the vas deferens, ano? For female reproductive system or internal reproductive organ, mayroon tayong fallopian tube. Dito, as you can see here, no, sa image. Mayroon din tayong uterus, yung kanyang ovary, cervix, we also have the vagina, and ayan, yung cervix. Okay? So, kung may internal, mayroon din external. Like ito, as you can see here sa image na natin, okay? Male external reproductive organ and female reproductive organ. Okay? So, nung nagkaroon na tayo ng development sa ating mga uh, internal and external reproductive organ or sexual development na tinatawag, andyan na yung puberty stage. Lahat tayo dumaan sa puberty stage. So, bilang mga bata noon, yung transition into adulthood. Okay? So, we pass the puberty stage that is characterized by adolescence growth spurt, yung maturity of the external genitalia, and the development of secondary sex characteristics. So, in other words, ang puberty stage ay characterized by physical changes. Yung pagbabago ng ating physical na katawan, especially sa ating mga masiselang bahagi. Okay? Kakaroon na tayo ng physical changes that distinguish sexual maturity both sa women and men. Okay? Ito ay caused by production or increased production ng ating mga hormones. So, ito na, class, yung pagbabago, yung mga physical changes during our puberty stage. Sa lalaki, nagkakaroon na ng muscle, ano? At yung lakas. Okay? Development of muscle, mass, and strength. Yung paglapad ng balikat, ng dibdib. Pangatlo, yung paglago ng facial and body hair, including doon sa kilikili, sa abdomen, sa dibdib, and sa pubic area. Nandun din yung enlargement of the larynx, dito sa may bandang, dito sa may esophagus, ano? Kakaroon ng Adam's apple, then lumalalim yung boses. Sa babae naman ay yun, lumalaki yung mga dibdib, ayan. Changes in fat distribution and quantity. Lumalapad din yung mga hips. Okay? Same is to sa body hair in the underarm and pubic hair. Then maturity of the uterus. So these are the changes, ano? Or transformation during the puberty stage. So this is lesson 7.2, gender and sexual orientation. Again, gender is a term na ginagamit, okay, whether biologically or socially influenced, that people use to define males and females according to Myers and Twinge 2017. Again, ang gender ay it is shaped by cultural expectations and social rules that affect people's concept or people's self-concept behaviors and aspirations according to Ratus 2014. So again, ang gender is traditionally understood based on binary categories like masculine for male and feminine for female. So gender identity usually starts with self-categorization that influences individuals to engage in gender-type behaviors according to Kenner 2015. But nowadays, pag sinabing gender na kasi, ano, hindi na lang for both male and female. Ano? That even the members of the LGBT ano, ay saklaw na ng tinatawag nating gender. So, we have different terminologies compiled by Kinner 2015 upang mas maintindihan natin itong malawak na gender identity terminologies. Number one is cisgender. Ang cisgender, sa madaling sabi, this is a sex that was assigned to us at birth. Okay, sa pagkapanganak pa lang natin. Kaya, next is gender queer. Dito nabibila yung mga tinatawag nating gay and lesbians. Okay. Sa intersex naman, ito yung isang or it is a medical condition. Okay, ng isang babae, halimbawa pinanganak na or ang isang tao pinanganak na babae and then nag-develop yung kanyang katawan bilang isang lalaki. Okay? May case tayo like the case of Jennifer Kagandahan. So, pinanganak siyang babae but nag-develop yung kanyang secondary male characteristics habang siya ay lumalaki. Ano? So, siya ay na-diagnose with congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Okay, na nagdi-display, nagpapakita ng yung kanyang katawan bilang isang lalaki and at the same time babae. So siya ay nagpapalit ng kanyang pangalan from Jennifer to Jeff dahil nga sa kanyang kondisyon. So possible din pala yung mga ganong medical conditions. Ano? So ang tawag doon ay intersex. Transgender naman, female to man, ayan, alam na natin, ano? Then, transgender woman, male to female. Okay. Next is gender expression. Okay. From the word expression, ano? How people express themselves and behave may be true to their gender identity, such as when they convey their sense of femininity or masculinity outwardly. Okay? Yung pagiging babae or pagiging lalaki, regardless, ano? Kung ano man yung physical na or sex characteristics natin. Okay? Regardless kung babae or lalaki. If we talk about gender expression, kung ano yung on how you express yourself, okay, bilang isang tao, okay, regardless kung babae or lalaki ka. This may occur naturally kasi for the majority that their actions are effortless. Then however, there are some people whose gender expression ay taliwas doon sa or hindi nagmamatch sa kanilang gender identity. Okay. Alam niyo na kung ano ibig kong sabihin, ano? Like sa lalaki, taliwas sa pagiging lalaki niya yung kanyang gender expression, like gays or lesbians, something like that. Kagaya din ng babae, a woman also is comfortable in presenting herself in a masculine ways, like those lesbians. Again, sexual orientation, ano? Ito ay tumutukoy doon sa stable pattern of attraction. Okay? Stable pattern of attraction or sexual interest ng isang tao. Okay? Of a particular sex. So, majority sa atin, ang sexual orientation na tinatawag ay majority sa atin ay heterosexual orientation or yung ang ating sexual interest is for the opposite sex, babae at lalaki. Okay, yun ang majority na mayroon tayo, okay, na sexual orientation. So, whenever you are asked for sexual orientation, what is your sexual orientation? So, you can call it heterosexual if you are belong to this kind of sexual orientation. Okay, majority kasi. Then we also have terminologies for sexual orientation like asexual, bisexual, gay, lesbian, heterosexual, or queer. Sa sexual refers to the absence of physical or sexual attraction to another human being. Okay? Kumbaga, in between, ano? An asexual man or woman can have romantic, intellectual, or emotional attractions to other people, but they do not engage in physical or yung tinatawag nating sexual acts. Sa bisexual naman, okay, ito yung sexual orientation na both for male or female, kakagusto, attracted sa male or both sa male and female. Okay, that is bisexuality. Both males and females. Sa gay, okay, depending on the context. Okay, ang mga gays naman can refer to either gay males or lesbians. Gay males are self-identified men who are emotionally, physically, romantically, and or sexually attracted to people who identify as male. So, usually they are attracted to male. Sa lesbian naman, it is a self-identified female who is emotionally, physically, romantically, and or sexually attracted to people who identify as female sa babae. Ang lesbian ay usually attracted sa mga babae. But there are instances, ano, may mga nagkakatuluyan na gay and lesbian, no? Then heterosexual, this is the majority ng ating sexual orientation. An individual who identifies as either a male or female okay, is attracted to individuals of the opposite sex. Sa queer naman, in an umbrella term that is used to describe an individual's self-concept of their sexual orientation identity. So, kaya may mga gay, may mga lesbians, may mga transgender, trans man, trans woman. Next, we have three factors contributing to sexual orientation. Number one is biological factor. So, pag sinabing biological factor, may kinalaman nito sa ating genes, okay? Or yung genetic link in sexual orientation sa genes ng ating mga magulang or immediate family. Pwede nating mamana, okay? So it was found that 52% of monozygotic twins whose genetic codes are nearly identical share a gay male sexual orientation as compared with 22% ng fraternal twins, okay, according to Ratus 2014. So again, pag sinabing biological factor, ay may kinalaman sa genes or genetic link na pwede nating mamana, no, sa ating mga magulang or immediate family. Next is yung tinatawag nating environmental factor. Ito naman ay sa social cognitive. Uh, ang mga social cognitive theories, they explain how sexual orientation could develop sa environmental factor. So may kinalaman sa ating environment or sa ating paligid. Okay? Tinitignan ng mga theories na ito na they look into the process of tinatawag nating observational and experiential learning based sa observation and based sa experiential. Mayroon dyan yung na-expose tayo sa enjoyable situation na male to male or female to female sexual encounters. Okay, yan yung mga environmental factor. Next is the unavailability of sexual partner of the opposite sex in one's culture group. Kaya nga may mga sa environmental factor, may mga same-sex na, di ba? It is because of the influence of our environment. Okay. Mayroon din as reported by some, an experience of childhood sexual abuse. Yan. By someone of the same gender. Okay. Influences their sexual orientation. Kung bakit may mga taong galit na galit sa lalaki, maaring sila ay biktima ng pang-aabuso, ng sexual abuse nung sila ay bata pa. Okay, may mga ganong cases. Next is multidimensional view of the sexual self. Ito na kasi sa panahon natin, hindi multidimensional is big sabihin marami. You know? Dumami na yung natin, yung view or perspective natin, okay, when it comes to sexual self. Okay, kaya nga may mga gay, lesbians, transman, and transwoman. So, ito yung mga pangunahing factors, okay, contributing to our sexual orientation. So we'll now proceed to lesson 7.3. We have here sexual behavior, erogenous zones, sexual response cycle, understanding the chemistry of lust, attraction, and attachment. The first one is sexual behavior. So, in sexual behavior, sex hormones and sexual motivations. So, ang sex hormones are important sa ating sexual development, para sa ating developmental and activating effects according to Final 2024. Ang sex hormones ay influences our sexual development. Okay, from conception hanggang sa tayo ay magkaroon ng sexual maturity. So, ang sex hormones and sexual motivation, they promote and develop our sex organs natin and yung secondary sex characteristics for males and females. Okay? Ang sex hormones are responsible for activating yung ating tinatawag na reproduction-related behaviors of sexually mature adults. Okay? For adults, okay? You take note, including the sexual drives and responses. So, let us take a look on the sexual behavior for men and women. Sa men, sexual behaviors are influenced by external factors gaya ng culture and yung ating tinatawag na social relationships. May mga cultures and religions na nagbibigay kalayaan sa mga lalaki na to have multiple sex partners. So may mga culture na ganyan, may mga tradition na ganyan na they let men to have multiple sex partners. Okay lang, allowed sa kanila. Okay. Also, relationship problems including poor communication belong din yan sa sexual behavior. Trust issues, unresolved conflicts, and loss of attraction affect one's sexual desire. So, yan yung mga pwedeng maka-apekto, no? Therefore, Male sexual motivation and behavior are not entirely driven by sex hormone. So while in women class, both estradiol and testosterone are implicated as the hormones. Ito yung mga hormones critical in modulating women's sexual desire. Ang estradiol is produced by the ovaries ng babae, while testosterone is produced by both the ovaries ng babae and the adrenal glands. There were studies indicating that testosterone has the greatest impact on sexual activity for women. Let us proceed to the erogenous zones or yung tinatawag nating hotspot. Bakit hotspot? Kasi ang erogenous zone ay kapag ito ay part ng ating mga katawan na highly sensitive. Okay, na kapag nahawakan, it will lead to sexual responses kagaya ng relaxation, fantasies, arousal, and orgasm. So for male body, ang kanyang erogenous zones ay yung sa mouth, sa lips, sa neck, ears, nipples, scrotum, perineum, the area between the anus and the scrotum, and the penis. Sa female body naman, ang kanyang erogenous zone ay yung bunganga, yung lips, yung neck, yung ears, yung nipples, yung breasts, yung cervix, which is the lower end of the uterus, the vagina, and the clitoris. So these are the erogenous zones or hotspot. So sexual response cycle, it was divided into 4, okay? So if we say sexual response cycle, ito isang model that describes the physiological responses or yung katawan natin that occur or nagaganap during sexual activity, especially for the husband and wife. So ang model na ito ay ginawa ni William Masters and Virginia Johnson. So ito ay nahati sa 4. Una is the stage 1 na tinatawag nating excitement. Ito yung pag-uumpisa ng sexual activity or preparation. Then step 2, the plateau. Yan, this is what we call physical arousal, builds. Then stage 3 or stage 1 is stage 2 and stage 3 is the orgasm. Okay? Both men and women, okay, ay nakakaranas nito. The experience of orgasm in similar and positive terms. So stage 4 is the resolution or yung pagbabalik ng temperature ng ating katawan. Pagbabalik niya sa normal. Ayan, after ng orgasm. Okay? So these are the 4 sexual response cycle created by William Masters and Virginia Johnson. Understanding the chemistry of lust, attraction, and attachment. We have the lust or libido or sex drive. It is characterized by the desire of human for sexual gratification. It will be gratified to sexual contact, which is inherent to every living organism, even animals, So, then especially for humans. For humans, ito ay associated with the sex hormones. Testosterone for males and estrogen for females. Then sa attraction naman, this is also called as passionate or obsessive love or infatuation. This is characterized by intense attention given to a desired partner. Let us now proceed to the last part ng ating lesson, the sexual health. Sexual health is described as a state of physical, emotional, and social well-being about sexuality, not merely the absence of disease, dysfunction, or infirmity. Okay? Kasama lahat yan pag sinabing sexual health. So, unang-una dyan is yung tinatawag nating sexually transmitted diseases or STDs. Ito isang health condition, ano, na napapasa from person to another person sa pamagitan ng sexual contact. So, STDs can be contracted through having unprotected sex with someone who has STDs. Kung yung if a couple, halimbawa, yung isa ay infected with STD, so through sexual contact ay pwedeng mahawa yung hindi infected. Okay? Sa pamamagitan ng sexual contact. So, ang STD is caused by bacteria such as in the cases of gonorrhea or tulo. Nandiyan ang syphilis, chlamydia. May mga parasites yan such as trichomoniasis or bioces such as in human papillomavirus or HPV, herpes simplex virus, and human immunodeficiency virus or HIV. So, dito yung mga common STDs sa Pilipinas. Okay, like syphilis, human papillomavirus or HPV, herpes simplex virus or HSV, human immunodeficiency virus or tinatawag nating HIV. So, mahalagang malaman nyo yung mga bagay na to. So, there was a total 665 syphilis patients, 2,053 HPV-infected patients, and 977 patients with herpes reported between 2011 and 2018 dito sa Pilipinas. So, reported by the Philippine Dermatological Society or PDS according to Vista 2018. So, a total of 69,512 HIV cases have been reported to the HIV or AIDS and ART Registry of the Philippines or HARP since the first recorded case of HIV infection in the country ay noong 1984 pa. So hanggang ngayon, dumadami. So based on the July 2019 pa to, report of HARP, ang average number of people newly diagnosed with HIV per day in 2019 was 35. Okay, imagine, 35 per day ang nai-infect ng HIV. So, majority of the cases or karamihan, ng mga kaso ay sa mga lalaki na nag-iedad ng 25 hanggang 34 years old. Paano ba maiiwasan ang mga STDs? Unang-una is yung tinatawag nating sexual abstinence. Is the best kind of protection or yung pag-abstain, okay? Pagtigil, pag-iwas, okay? Sa mga taong they are not committed into relationship, ang hanap lang ay panandali ang aliw, okay? Especially sa mga prostitutes, okay? Yan. Mostly, dyan nakakuha ang mga kalalakihan. So, staying in a long-term monogamous relationship. Okay? Kung ibig sabihin, wag you stay committed sa iyong relationship. Wag nang tangkahin or makipag-relasyon sa iba't ibang tao. Okay? Or yung tinatawag nating mayroong multiple sex partners. So, you should stay in your long-term monogamous relationship. You should stick to one, sa madaling sabi. Then, the use of condoms, consistently, pag mayroong sexual contact, especially sa mga hindi mo pa masyadong kilala, no? Then, not abusing alcohol or drugs. So, thank you so much, class, for listening. I hope you learned something new today. So, God bless us all.